a home. It's like where they live.
Habitat is like home. Yes, the place they live.
And entree is
Their needs, like what they like to eat,
what they want,
like exactly to live.
like their food, right?
Yes. And what is the ecology? What is the meaning of ecology?
Um,
So let us begin the new lesson, roles in energy transfer. That is, how does energy flow through an ecosystem? Do you all know, girls, about the food chain and food web? We did that last year, I think. Do you have any idea about this? Yes, girls?
Yeah, Miss.
Okay, so can you give me an example of a food chain? If you want, you can write and explain here.
Yes, Miss.
Miss, a food chain.
Food chain, yes. You can explain here.
Miss, can I do?
It's like an animal eating another animal and another animal eating another animal.
Yes, very good. I want you to write here. If you want, I will make you host for a minute.
Okay.
Yes, who wants to explain food chain to me? Malak?
Yeah, next.
You can draw? Anyways,
Yeah, Miss.
let us begin here. Most organisms on Earth get energy from the sun. How is energy flowing through ecosystem pictured on the opposite page? If I say opposite page, which one is that? Yeah, this is the opposite page. They're asking you, how is energy flowing through the ecosystem on this page, girls? What do you think? Fish is there and plants are there and sunlight is there. So tell me, how is the energy transferred? Tell me, girls. Looking at this picture, how energy is transferred to the fish from plants?
By eating it?
Okay,
Or
and
from the sun?
plants, how do they get energy?
They
Get
can.
energy from sun. Okay, plants, they get energy from sun. And then fish get, the plants, I can say, this is the sun. And plants get energy from sun. All right, and then the fish get energy from plants. The fish gets energy from plants. All right. So this is the food chain given to us here, how the energy is transferred. Now, please, you remember this word producers, plants. Whenever we say producer, that is the first thing.
Yeah.
That is plants. Remember that. When I say producer, that means I'm talking about plants. How do organisms get energy? Energy is all around you. Chemical energy stored in the bonds of the molecules and hold molecules together. The energy from food is chemical energy in the bonds of food molecules. All living things need a source of chemical energy to survive. Girls, what is the meaning of chemical energy, girls, here? Like whatever food I'm taking that has some chemicals inside. That doesn't mean they have harmful chemicals. They have chemical insides. Now, produce.
There are good chemicals, right?
Yes. Give me a moment, girls. So, you will, if any time anybody asks you what is a like what are producers, you know they're autotrophs. What is the meaning of autotroph here? They are autotrophs. Autotrophs are those who make their own food, and only plants make their own food. Is there anyone else who make their own food? You will say, yes teacher, I make it in the kitchen, but you are depending on them, right? You depend on them. You don't make your own food. You depend on plants. You have to get something to make your food. But they don't go and buy some stuff from the grocery. They make their own food using sunlight. They make their own food using sunlight. So they are called as autotrophs. So for grade 6, you must know that this is a new word for you. Autotroph. Remember the word auto is like automatic. They automatically make their food, so they are called as autotrophs. Most producers use sunlight to make food in process called photosynthesis. Again, please highlight. They use, most of them, they use sunlight to make their food called photosynthesis. Who cannot use sunlight? Give me an example. Who cannot use sunlight? Please give me an example. Who cannot use sunlight?
Miss, I think unliving things. Non-living things.
In plants, which type of plants cannot use sunlight?
Oh.
Those are deep inside the ocean, girls. Do you think those plants can get sunlight? So they have a different way to, make their food, but they make. Sun powers most of the light. That is the main source of energy, girls, the sun. Producers use light energy to make food from water. We put water, they take in carbon dioxide and nutrients from water and soil, and this is how they make their food. And this food contains chemical energy that is used immediately. All green plants such as grasses, trees are producers. Algae and some bacteria are also producers. Some bacteria, they're also producers, girls. They make their own food. They don't depend on anything else. An organism that gets energy and nutrient by breaking down the remain of other organisms are called decomposers. Can you give me an example of decomposer? Fungi. Some bacteria, they are decomposers. When we hear this word decomposer, you must know that they are breaking down the remains of organisms. The remains not only means only the remains of animals, it could be remains of plants, it could be remains of anything, but of course living. So these are decomposers who are responsible for breaking down the remains of other organisms, such as fungi, mushrooms, okay? By converting dead organisms and animals and plant waste into materials such as water and nutrients, decomposers help move matter through ecosystems. They make it simple, these simple materials available to other organisms. So did you understand the word producer and decomposers? We have learned enough even last years. They have shown us the picture here of mushrooms. They are decomposers. They break down the remains of plants and animals. They have shown you plant is a producer. Producers make food using light energy from the sun. Now here, consumer is an organism. What is the difference between consumer and producer? Ghalia? What is the difference between a consumer and a producer?
I know.
Tell me. Producer.
Consumer do not make their own food.
Yes. Very good.
Producer make their own food by using sunlight.
Excellent. This is the perfect answer. A consumer is an organism that eats another organism. The consumer is an organism that eats another organism. And they are divided into herbivores, carnivores, and omnivore. Remember last year we divided the class into herbivore and carnivore and omnivore. Remember that?
Yeah, Miss.
Remember the word car? They just love to eat meat. They sit in the car and they go and they love to eat meat. Like that, remember something. So that you remember, they love only meat. We are omnivores. We love both plants and animals. They just, a carnivore such as badger or the wolf, it's shown it eats other animals. Herbivore only eat plants. Scavengers, they are special. They just feed on dead organisms. So girls, tomorrow's class, when I come, I will ask you, producers, what are producers? What are consumers? Classify consumer. You will say the consumer that eat only plants are herbivores. A consumer that eat only animals, other animals, are carnivores. Those eat both plants and animals are omnivores. And scavengers is a specialized consumer that feeds on dead organisms. Okay? Am I clear, girls?
Yeah.
Now, hedgehog eat leaves, earthworms, and insect. Leaves, earthworm, insects. Ghalia, what am I? I eat leaves, I eat earthworms, I eat insects. Sorry, I don't eat all that, but I'm just saying I'm a hedgehog now. So what am I? Herbivore,
About the hedgehog.
or carnivore?
Carnivore.
Okay, what did I tell you to remember? I said you remember car means, remember they want to sit in the car and they will only like to eat meat. Is it only eating meat, insects? It's also eating leaves. See here.
Yeah, so it's an omnivore.
Yeah, did you see your mistake? Actually, it's not a mistake, but
He
it's
eats plants and meats, right?
Yes? Yes, sweetie? Anyhow.
Miss, we are
Omnivores. Yes, we are omnivores. You know, there are people in India, they eat only vegetables. They don't eat meat. So we call
They're vegetarian? Or
herbivores.
they're
Vegetarians.
vegetarian?
Vegetarians. Okay. Moose. I eat grasses and I eat fruits. Who am I?
herbivore.
Excellent. Now, Malak, Komodo dragon. I eat insects, birds, and mammals. Who am I? Insects, birds, and mammals. They are it is eating only animals. So what is your answer, Malak?
Carnivores.
Excellent. So do you have a clear picture?
Carnivores.
Very good, dear Malak. So now do you have a clear picture of carnivore, omnivore, and herbivore? Now I want you all tomorrow when me, I want you.
Me, Miss?
Yes, I want you to give me example tomorrow of each. I want 2 examples of herbivore, 2 of omnivore, 2 of carnivore, and 2 of scavengers. This will be my first question when I enter into the class tomorrow. Okay? 2 examples of each.
Okay, Miss.
Okay. Any other questions you would like to ask me from this lesson?
No, Miss.
We have food chain left. We have food web. Okay, I did not even show you the vocabulary terms today. Come on, read these vocabulary terms, Malak, once.
Okay, Miss. Product
Producer.
Producer, carnivore, decomposer, omnivore, consumer, food chain, herbivore, food web.
We have finished almost everything. We are just left with food chain and food web. We have finished producer, we finished decomposer, consumer, herbivore, carnivore, and omnivore. We are just left with food chain and food web. Okay? So that's it for class today. Have a great day, girls. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye,
Miss.
Miss.
Bye-bye, sweeties.